Hi, Sue here, and the title today is Things Are Going Swimmingly, with a couple of question marks and an exclamation mark, because going swimmingly is not as easy as you might think, or going swimming. So for those of you who haven't caught up with it as yet, I have been going to the local pool for, 6 months, maybe more, and I started off doing aqua jogging, and it has certainly helped me recover from my back injury, and I don't think I would have got where I am today without doing that. But it got to the stage where all I was doing was floating about and chatting to people and walking up and down with the flotation belt on, and I didn't feel like I was pushing myself enough, which is what I really wanted to do. So I decided that I would try swimming again. The first thing that I did was to try breaststroke. Now I was just doing some basic breaststroke, doing half a length at the beginning, and not sort of putting my head underwater, just sort of keeping my head up. But that made my neck a bit sore, and I thought, no, I need to think of something else. Now, I've never been a great swimmer. We didn't really have swimming lessons at school like some schools do now. So I learnt to swim a little bit when I was a teenager, but not much. And then I went to some adult swimming lessons, did maybe half a dozen of them. And that was, 30 odd years ago, and I had done some swimming with my husband at the local pool for a bit, and I would do a few lengths, but I would never have made an Olympic swimmer, that's for sure. So I decided that I would give swimming a go. And one of the things that I have been using is flippers, or fins, they sometimes call them. Can be very helpful, especially as I figure that with Parkinson's and having one side more affected than the other, with an uneven kind of kick, it would be helpful to have the flippers to give me a bit of a hand. So I've been wearing the flippers. I now have some beautiful rainbow flippers just because I like rainbow things, not for any other reason. Yes, so I bought some rainbow flippers, and they've been helping me to kind of do what I need to do. The thing is, I think I'm starting to get the stroke okay, and the kick seems to be alright, but it's the breathing that's the huge challenge. Now, one of the ladies who I've been chatting to over the months, her husband comes and does lengths in the pool alongside us, and he has started trying to give me a few hints and tips on how to effectively do freestyle, while I note that he only does breaststroke himself, so that's a bit interesting. So anyway, he's been trying to give me some hints and tips, but the problem is, just like anything that I do, is that I can't cope with too much information at once. And people don't get that. As much as I patiently try and tell people that, they don't get it. So one day he came upon me at the end of the pool, and he was right next to me. And he started to tell me some stuff. He said, "You want to try this? You want to try that? Blah, blah, blah." And I sort of nodded and went, "Oh, okay, yeah, maybe, okay, thanks." And the next end that we ended up together, he said, "Oh, you need to do this and you need to do that." And I was just like, oh, God, give me strength. He was lovely. He is lovely. And he means well. But I can't cope with my brain being bombarded by too much, too close together. One sentence, one set of instructions. Let me absorb that, and please move on. In fact, please move on before giving me that sentence, because it doesn't really work for me. I have toyed with the idea of having a few lessons with somebody, just one-on-one, to get my breathing and everything coordinating properly. But then, having Parkinson's, I'm not sure that your average swimming instructor would actually understand what is difficult about this process. You know, they just think, teach you to use your arms effectively, use your legs effectively, breathe effectively, and job's done. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. But it's not quite that easy for us, is it? When you break it down, when you think about the process of swimming, it's actually multifaceted, and everything needs to happen at once, which can be a bit of a challenge. So obviously you need to be able to move your arms correctly, and I think I can do that. I've YouTubed it, and I think I'm doing it okay. And one of the lifeguards says it looks like I'm doing it okay. To remember to kick, and try and kick equally with both feet, and use my lovely flippers to help me. And then there's the breathing, and it's the breathing that is the problem. Unfortunately, I have drunk a reasonable amount of the pool in my time, and it's not great. Chlorinated water is not probably good for you. It might give out all my internal pipes a bit of a clean out perhaps, but yeah, the breathing thing is the challenge. And like I said, I toyed with getting some help and getting some swimming lessons, but I'm not sure that it would necessarily work for me. I have a bit of a feeling that if I approached a swim coach who said that they could teach me to improve things, that I would end up teaching them more about Parkinson's than they could teach me about swimming. And then they could have to pay me. That's a thought. So yeah, so I think maybe I just need to muddle on and try and focus on the breathing side of things and see if I can do it a little bit better than I am currently. I think, for me, I don't want to go to a gym because there are just too many machines and things that I would usually use, like the rowing machine and weights machines and things like that I would be dubious about doing with my back and with my shoulder that's been corrected and my knee that's been corrected. So I've had all these bits operated on, and I do not want to stir anything up by overdoing it at the gym. So I figure swimming is probably the best thing for me. It's been the best thing to recover from my operation on my back, and probably for my knee as well. So, and it's supportive. You've got the water kind of cushioning you so that you're not putting any extra strain on your back or any of your joints. Yeah, I think I'll just have to muddle on, but yeah, when you think about coordinating your arms, your head, your legs, your body trying to work in sync, and also breathing at an appropriate time in an appropriate way, it's probably a pretty big ask to be able to do that at all. But I'm going to give it a crack because that's what I do. I don't believe in giving up too soon. And I think learning something new, even though I could do it previously, was some 30 years ago perhaps, learning something new is encouraging my brain to be the best it can be. And hopefully the exercise will do me good, maybe my breathing will be better, and hopefully with it being an exercise that gets the heart rate up, I might actually lose some weight. That certainly would be a bonus. So yeah, this has been so for Parkies and me, my journey with Parkinson's. Hopefully things will go swimmingly and I will be able to swim more effectively and drink less pool by the time I check in with you all again. Kia kaha, be brave, be strong, be you.